I went to, hello, Congresswoman Waters. I just came to use my congressional authority.
Ma'am, our lobby is secure right now to all visitors.
Excuse me, I need to get in.
Contact our public affairs office.
I need to get in.
What are you hoping to do?
Give me a mic check.
I just want to David work.
Would a congressperson normally be able to enter?
Normally, yes.
What is happening here?
Well, there were some of the authorities, I don't know who they were, and I'm trying to get in to see David Worker, who they have arrested. He is the head of SEIU local union here. I don't know why he was targeted. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know whether they're going to deport him.
That right there, people, is how you shut down the Democrats who try to use their political power to do whatever the hell they think they can do. Any given time of the day, they think they have all the power and you can't stop them. But that's how you get it done, especially when they can't handle the job. But let's get into this. Here we go. Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. This video I'm dropping, as everybody has heard so far now, there's all kinds of chaos and mayhem going on, mainly in California. A lot of it's in LA. Supposedly, as of today, there's more riots being stirred up in San Francisco. Okay, just as bad as what's going on in LA. And now people are trying to gather in New York and in Boston, I believe, to pretty much do the same thing, protest ICE and make it seem that it's unconstitutional and it's against our democracy to deport illegal immigrants, and especially the ones that have committed crimes. And it is just gotten to the point that, you know what, Donald Trump was like, I'm taking over the reins. Yesterday on Sunday, he deployed the National Guard, and now he's already put into motion where they're ready to send in between 500 and 700 Marines out to LA. And now the Democrats are losing their minds because they think it's all unconstitutional, saying that, you know, it's very rare, whatever the case is, and it's not. If anybody does their history, it's happened a few times. One time in particular, I believe Kennedy had to go and send the Marines and the National Guard, or whatever the case was, for the marches. I believe it was in Selma, if I remember correctly. And obviously the Democrats, you know, they didn't have a problem with that. But I mean, it is what it is. Okay, whenever they do stuff, everything's quite all right. When you want to go and say enough is enough, we're not going to take this no more, no, you're the fascist, you're the racist, or whatever the case is. But before we get into that, I want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. This video is going to be a little different. I'm just going to go from page to page for lack of editing time, because it's just nonstop. There are so many content creators that are live right now on YouTube, on social media, and they're just recording from all angles. And right away, as usual, the mainstream media, they're editing their footage to make it seem as if the National Guard, police officers, stuff like that, are the ones going after the protesters. They're leaving out all the juicy stuff of how all these protesters are basically once again destroying private property. I mean, they're torching cars, they're vandalizing storefronts. I mean, graffiti all over the place. It's incredible. Okay, I mean, just go on your YouTube homepage after you watch this video and just go on. I believe one of them is Angela Rose. I mean, it's all, I mean, there's so many content creators. I mean, I was up to at least 5 o'clock in the morning just flipping through of all the content, and it's like, once again, the Democrats, the mainstream media, Gavin Newsom, all of them are trying to turn this around, saying that the reason why it got all messed up, okay, or that it got worse, was when Trump sent in the National Guard, which is not true. I've been watching this since Friday, and since Friday, even before the thought of sending the National Guard in was an idea. I mean, they were just out there attacking cops and I mean, just causing massive chaos, okay? And all while waving Mexican flags. Now, let me tell you something. Anybody that knows me, I mean, especially you guys on my channel, if there's one thing I can't stand, it is, you know, we have to deal with it with these people that are pro-Palestine and other people waving their flags in America. And now we're going to have all these people waving the Mexican flag. They're out there chanting that California is not American, it's northern Mexico. I mean, they're trying to rewrite history, trying to rewrite demographics, that even the president of Mexico, okay, is all for everything that's going on. I mean, it's pathetic. I'll try to get to that clip if I can. But from the last video you saw, that was one angle. Maxine Waters tried to go and push her way through once again, and she got shut down. And I have to admit, that made me feel good, the way that dude looked at her and was basically like, go kick rocks, slammed the door in her face, and kept it moving. But now listen to the way she talks, and it's like they can't get it through their head. Okay? You have fed off the teat of your constituents for decades now. And look at what it has brought you people. Nothing but chaos. Because you pander to one to go against the other one, and it all under the guise of all this white systemic racism. And look at where we're at. You use the black vote to get in. Okay? Then you go and you leave the borders wide open. All these illegal migrants come in. Okay? And in their ranks, you have all these illegal migrant criminals that are wanted in their countries for heinous crimes. You knew this, you let them in, they committed more heinous crimes here in America. Now, that constituency, the Latino constituency, is out there causing havoc. Okay? Where's all the white systemic racism now? Since you like to keep saying it, but yet people are still out there pushing, screaming at the top of their lungs. I mean, to listen to some of these people, and it mostly women, girls, young people, is just disgusting to hear them scream as if the cops and the National Guard are grabbing people off the street. You would think they're basically putting bullets in the back of their head, okay, with the way these people are acting, and that's not even the case. They're doing coordinated ICE raids. They're picking up people. And Tom Homan and Donald Trump, especially Tom Homan, said it. If you're an illegal migrant that did not commit a crime, but you are in the vicinity of one that did, and they go and get them, and you get caught up in that sweep, that's just too bad. Okay? And in all honesty, that's just the way it is. It's just too bad. You know? But don't want to have too much of a long introduction. I got a lot of stuff to show. It's going to be a long one, so bear with me. Let's play this video clip, and we'll take it from there. Here we go.
What is happening here?
Well, there were some of the authorities, I don't know who they were, and I'm trying to get in to see David Workton, who they have arrested. He is the head of SEIU local union here. I don't know why he was targeted. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know whether they're going to deport him.
Just so in case anybody doesn't know, that union that she's talking about, I worked for that union back home in New York for the hospitals. They represent local 1199, I believe it is, which is hospital workers. Okay? Why that union rep was out there protesting for this, it makes you wonder. How many illegal migrants are they pushing through in the unions? Okay? Especially the hospital unions. Taking all those jobs. And let me tell you something. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what position you ever get working in a hospital. Those are some of the best paying jobs out there. And a lot of times you don't need this elaborate degree. Okay, if you go housekeeping, or you go maintenance, or you go cafeteria, groundskeeping, whatever the case is, you don't really need much to get those jobs, and they pay well. I can't speak too much about the union. It's one of the reasons why I left the work, because the union sucks. And case in point, here it is. This man's over here, he got arrested, and she's over here trying to figure out why. Well, why don't you ask this question? Why is that man embedding himself, okay, in a situation where ICE is trying to go and pick up illegal migrants? Why is a man that represents Americans in a union, okay, union workers, and why are you union workers supporting him on that? Those jobs were meant for Americans, not for illegal migrants. Okay? The more illegal migrants you let in, especially to work in hospitals and places like that, daycare centers, whatever the case is, listen, if they come here legally and they're qualified for those jobs or whatever the case is, they want to apply for one of those jobs, then by all means, go right ahead. But now you're over here trying to support illegal migrants, and then he gets arrested, and she wants to know why. Maybe because he should have just minded his damn business and do what he has to do, which is represent union workers, not illegal migrants that are being picked up by ICE. Let's continue.
I want to report back to my caucus about what's happening, but they have not allowed me to get in.
Congresswoman, you're seeing what's happening out front here.
We have guns, and I'm afraid that the guns will end up being used. I don't know why. We have guns. What are those guns for? Are they to shoot protesters? I mean, there's no reason to be here with the National Guard. The President of the United States is cruel, dishonorable human being who would just assume they shoot somebody down. But I don't want that to happen. I do not want, I want the elected officials to do everything that we can to dissuade them from what they're doing. They've targeted our city. This is a sanctuary city, and Trump is after us. And so I want the people to hit the streets and to show that we care. I want all of the elected officials out here. I want the crowds to grow and grow and grow. We learned a lot in the civil rights movement about how to use our voice that's guaranteed to us by the Constitution of the United States. And I'm hopeful that that will happen. And I'm hoping that we as elected officials will use all of the power that we may have in order to make sure that people are just not mistreated.
Have you ever
Okay, she's over here saying all this BS, okay? And there's one thing I've always said, people, and I'll keep saying it. As a matter of fact, I got into a discussion with a friend of mine a few days ago about this, and he brought up the same thing about the Constitution, and I told him, and I will keep reminding him and reminding everybody, and you know who you are, buddy, you know I love you, but I am so sick and tired of people using the Constitution, okay, to protect themselves, to go against the Constitution. Because if they really cared about the Constitution and they care about freedom of speech, okay, where in the Constitution does it say that somebody could come in from another country, wave their flag, put down America, and still be protected? I'd like somebody to tell me, where in the Constitution does it say that a lot of these protesters are out there saying that California, okay, is part of Mexico, that they consider it northern Mexico, that's their country, and get away with it, knowing very well that California is part of the United States, not Mexico. If it was at one time, guess what? They lost it, just like every other country in history who has lost property, who have lost land. It's just the way it is. Now, all of a sudden, all these people waving their Mexican flags, and on top of that, okay, because I seen a video today in a neighborhood where there's Mexican restaurants, Mexican supermarkets, and all that. All vandalized, graffiti, busted windows. I mean, garbage. They're garbage areas where they keep the garbage outside torched. So here you are, all you people fighting for Mexico, fighting for illegal migrants, and you're destroying your own people's damn businesses. Well, I tell you what. If you love Mexico that much, get your asses back to Mexico. Okay? And if that's the way people in Mexico act, then we definitely sure as shit don't want you here. If that's what you're going to be doing. But leave it up to the Democrats to come out and just, say, oh, that Trump's a threat. Why do they have guns? This, and that. Yada, yada, yada. Everything's his fault. But yet, I'll minimize this because nobody needs to listen to this woman anymore, okay? We'll go to what the, like I said, I'm not even, for editing time's sake, I'm just going to flip right through.
A good 50.
Let's see what the police chief has to say,
look,
not Gavin
Donald
Newsom.
Trump is,
Oh, and matter of fact, you know what? Let's listen to what he says, and we'll get to what the police chief has to say. Check this out, people.
well, I mean, look, Donald Trump has created the conditions you see on your TV tonight. He's exacerbated the conditions. He's, lit the proverbial match. He's putting fuel on this fire.
Okay, you heard what he said? Donald Trump is all Donald Trump's fault. Okay? He brought in the National Guard yesterday. He's over here saying he lit the match. This is all his fault. But let's minimize that, okay? Because let's, where is it at? Is it here? No, hold on one second. Bear with me, people. Like I said, I'm not editing. I'm just going to flip right through all these.
Here, let's walk a little bit this way.
That's not it either.
Extraordinary images out of Los Angeles tonight. Hundreds of National Guard troops now on the ground.
No, that's not it. Bear with me, folks. I'm sorry. It's where right here. This is where now you heard what Gavin Newsom said. Okay, let's listen to what the police chief has to say.
7:08 right now, happening right now. Nearly 300 National Guard members are in Los Angeles after a third straight day of protests. Rioters yesterday set self-driving cars on fire in downtown as protesters blocked a freeway. The city's police chief says the situation is getting dangerous for both the public and his law enforcement officers. He's also reinforcing that his department is not part of ICE.
Unequivocally clear. The Los Angeles Police Department does not participate in or coordinate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement on civil immigration enforcement. We've said this over and over again, and I can't stress it enough for the people in our community who have high levels of anxiety about this issue, that we want everybody to believe and be able to call the LAPD in time of need if they've been a victim of a crime or a witness to a crime. We need that. Otherwise, the system does not work. This violence that I've seen is disgusting. It's escalated now since the beginning of this incident. What we saw the first night was bad. What we've seen subsequent to that is getting increasingly worse and more violent.
Okay, so you hear it? You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Since the beginning, which means Friday. Trump didn't send out the National Guard on Friday. He couldn't have even made an assessment like that because the way it all popped off, I mean, nobody knew it was going to get this bad. But straight from the police chief's mouth, and he came out and said that ICE does, that the police department is not helping ICE. You would think the people would not go against the police department, but now the police department is sent out because they're like, wait a minute, we have to keep the peace. We got to stand in between the people and ICE. Let ICE do their job, and we'll keep the people back. You know, in other words, we got to be the middle guys here. But the crowd goes and turns on the police department. So now the police department says, you know what? Okay, now we're going to have to go against you. And it all started on Friday. His words, I'll play it again. It's what he said. Okay? Well, sorry, I don't know how that happened. Go back.
7:08 right now, happening right now. Nearly 300.
We'll go back to what he said. I mean, it's just ridiculous the way they keep trying to put the blame on Trump, and the police chief
does not participate in or coordinate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement on civil immigration enforcement. We've said this over and over again, and I can't stress it enough for the people in our community who have high levels of anxiety about this issue, that we want everybody to believe and be able to call the LAPD in time of need if they've been a victim of a crime or a witness to a crime. We need that. Otherwise, the system does not work. This violence that I've seen is disgusting. It's escalated now since the beginning of this incident. What we saw the first night was bad. What we've seen subsequent to that is getting increasingly worse and more violent. Tonight we had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you. And we have adapted our tactics to be able to have a chance to be able to take these people into custody and to be able to hold them accountable. We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity and the type of things that they're doing. They'll they'll take backpacks, and the backpack will have a cinder block in it. They have a hammer, and they'll break up the cinder block and use that, pass it around to throw at officers, to throw at cars, and throw at other people. We've seen people with hammers, and you've broadcasted, breaking the bollards behind the federal building and taking the rocks, if you will, or pieces of concrete, and throwing them at officers. We've had liquid of who knows what description thrown at officers. There's no limit to what they're doing to our officers.
Yeah.
Now those.
See, and yet Gavin Newsom is saying that it's Trump's fault that all this got out of hand. Maxine Waters is trying to bogart her way into a federal building because she just thinks that she can. The way she says, I'm here to use my congressional power. Okay. And you have all these people out there just torching stuff. One of the things that they started burning, which I could not understand. At first I thought, let me see if I can find it. I thought it was ICE vehicles. This Jag-off right here standing here. Okay. These cars are supposedly autonomous cars, and I'm assuming they're cabs or whatever. They pick people up. There's no driver. There was a whole row, about 5 or 6 of them. And they're torching them. Okay, now I don't know if they belong to a private company, okay, or they're property of the city of LA. But what the hell do these cars have to do with your protest? Why do you gotta go and destroy these vehicles, torch them? I mean, they were burnt down. I've never seen vehicles burnt down the way these cars, you would think they were made out of paper. And I'm like, that's what drew me to the videos the past 2 days, that I still can't wrap my mind around how these cars just burn down to nothing. So whatever they're made of, they're obviously, in my opinion, if they're going to burn that easy and just melt to nothing, they're not safe. But, I mean, I'm going to digress from that. That's not the point. It's just that what does torching these vehicles have to do with your protest? And then this guy right here is on multiple different angles of people taking video. Kicking into windshields, it's torching, they're burning it. Some other stupid broad, the door's open, she runs inside, sits down so they can take a picture of her, and she runs back out. And I'm like, how the hell is any of this supposed to be constructive for your movement? And here's the thing, it's not. Okay? They're just out there to cause chaos and mayhem, do as much damage as they can, all under the guise that they're protesting. And it's only just to point the finger at Donald Trump and his supporters and say, you see, they did all this because of that man, because of his rhetoric, because of what he wants to do. Meanwhile, you got the police chief, who, from what I've seen, that is the only video of the police chief talking. There's no video with him next to Gavin Newsom, Maxine Waters, nobody. Kamala Harris, nobody. And yet Kamala Harris is out there talking. Gavin Newsom is out there talking. Not Nancy Pelosi. The mayor of, what's her name? Bass. She's out there talking. Everybody's putting Trump down, making it seem like all this is his fault. And yet the police chief is saying, man, they're coming here with cinder blocks, man. They're attacking us with cinder blocks. They're causing fires. It's disgusting what they're doing. And we have nothing to do with ICE. We're just here to keep the peace. And that's not good enough. Let's play this video.
Sunday night, LA's police chief was admitting his department was overwhelmed. You had 2,000 rioters blocking the 101 freeway, people burning Waymo cars,
look at this.
People launching commercial fireworks at cops. This follows days of
look at them throwing rocks
and burning cars. These are riots in Los Angeles. Yes, some of them are protests, but if their protests turn into riots. The professional rioters, the rent-a-riot, you have professional lefties showing up to make things worse. There's evidence that some of these riotous, some of these protests are funded by some of the same groups that are funding the pro-Palestinian protests.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, on Sunday, we saw Palestinian flags, as well as people driving motorcycles around, burning cars, waving the Mexican flag.
Yeah.
There's something anti-American here. It's not about simple, decent treatment of illegal immigrants. ICE had been arresting illegal immigrants, specifically targeting criminals, violent criminals. Mayor Karen Bass first encouraged the riots by sort of saying, we will not let this happen here. We're against this, calling them terror tactics by ICE. But it kept escalating. Crucially, on Friday, the mayor had the LAPD hold off for 2 hours as things got worse and worse, only reluctantly sending them in, and by then things were already out of control. On Saturday, President Trump decided he was going to call up the National Guard and send them in. Yes, overriding Governor Gavin Newsom, who also was doing nothing, just as he and Mayor Bass had sat back during the wildfires, letting things go. LA's and California's leaders aren't on top of things. And in fact, again, they complained about Trump sending in the National Guard. And yet, even though the Guard started arriving Sunday morning, started trying to turn the tide, you still had the freeway blockage, the burning Waymos, the LA police commissioner saying they were overwhelmed. We don't know.
Okay, I'm going to go back right here. You see this place right here, Dale's Donuts? Okay, it's supposed to be a very famous spot. There's other video out there. You know, this is why I tell you that these people... I'm going to make a quick joke about this, okay? And I don't want nobody to get offended because it's nothing to laugh about, but it just reminds me of when I hear friends come out and say, this is why we can't have nice things, okay? I've never been to California. I've never been to this place, but I've heard of it. Matter of fact, you've seen it in cartoons and all kinds, like, you know, TV shows, whatever the case is, Dale's Donuts. Man, these idiots, man, they got on top of this roof, they graffitied Dale's Donuts. I mean, this whole, as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, the video I seen today by, I think her name is Angela Rose or something like that, she did a walkthrough. And I believe this is the store. And there was a couple of people trying to help, just regular store owners out in the streets now cleaning up the mess. 5, maybe 10, 20 people. Where are all you people that care so much? How come you're not out there cleaning up your mess? They won't, because they're nothing but a bunch of damn animals, okay? They graffitied this whole place. I mean, destroyed this guy's business. Okay? And for what? What does this business have to do with ICE? Okay? And here's the thing. Like I said, if this is the same store that she was in front of, there was a guy talking with her, doing part of the interview, a guy that she got out in the street, who was saying this is all wrong because out of the 118 people that ICE arrested, some of the people in there were known criminals, rapists, murderers, stuff like that. He goes, this is wrong what you people are doing. In other words, let ICE do their job. So they went to the side of the store, I believe. I'm using my green pointer here. If this is the same store, where they ordered a coffee, okay, while they're doing the video. And the lady standing outside of them, I believe she works there also. She's a Latina woman speaking Spanish. So here you are destroying, okay, businesses that are owned by Latin people, all in the name of going against ICE because they're picking up illegal migrants from other countries and the criminal ones and deporting them. You people have lost your damn minds. Okay? And I have many subscribers from California, and you know, I've said it like in jest, you know, other times, but I tell you what, I've never really heard nothing really good about California since I was a kid. It was always 50-50, 60-40, whichever way the wind was blowing of that somebody wanted some sort of racial divide. Okay? I'm sad to say it that way, but I mean, I'm just telling you my side, okay? If California doesn't turn red and put an end to this, it's only going to get worse. The best thing they can do, in all honesty, since they love Mexico so much, all the good people need to move out of California, and I say we just build a damn border around from California, let Mexico buy it, you guys deal with it. And you guys see how good it's going to be, because you'll wave your damn flag, you'll make it seem like Mexico is so great, but aren't like all the cartels ruining Mexico? Isn't it that, you know what, Mexico's not doing so great, so that's why a lot of people are trying to come here for a better life? Because that's all I keep hearing. They'll just come here for a better life opportunity, so then Mexico can't be that damn great for you to be waving your flag on American soil. Because if it is, then go back, go there. You don't even have to renounce your citizenship. Okay? Just go pick up residence there for a year and see how you like it. I guarantee you, unless you're just ignorant, I guarantee you you're not going to want to go back to Mexico. And if you find a nice spot in Mexico, go right ahead. Believe me, I believe that there are many beautiful parts of Mexico. But then I have to ask the question again. Why is everybody trying to get through Mexico, either from Mexico or get through Mexico to come here? To this big racist country, this big fascist country. It just makes no damn sense. You know? When right now, El Salvador is probably the safest it's been in God knows how long. I believe the numbers are that their crime rate has gone down like 98%. I've seen some mini documentaries as of late. One in particular was a woman who says that now her and her husband, after work, they can take a walk at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and have no fear. People are enjoying life in El Salvador. Why? Because their president decided to say, you know what? Every criminal is going to prison. Okay? So, which are the people from El Salvador, and their economy is getting better, by the way. So, which are the people that are coming from El Salvador that feel that they need to come here and run from immigration? Let me guess. Criminals, maybe? I'd have to guess 9 out of 10 of them are criminals that are trying to flee. So, what's going on in Mexico? That you people are waving your flag on American soil, saying that Mexico's great, California is northern Mexico, but yet you people don't want to go over there. Or even have the balls to go over there and help rebuild it. See, that's the thing. Just like all you people from the pro-Palestine, you're afraid of the big bad boogeyman, okay, that's causing havoc in Palestine, like you people like to say. You people from Mexico, you're afraid of the big bad boogeyman that is destroying Mexico, but you'll come here, you'll use constitutional law, and spit on America. Because you don't have the balls to go fight for your democracy in Palestine, in Mexico, or anywhere else around the world. But you'll come to America that says, you know what, yeah, we'll accept you, just please do it the right way. Let us know who you are. If you're a criminal, we don't want you. Oh, you're just racist if you want all that. Name another country on the planet where an American can get on a plane and enter. First of all, an American cannot get on a plane without a passport to prove who they are in order to get to another country. Why do we have to have our borders wide open just to have people in California do this? That is getting to the point that now there's a bunch of people from the black community going online telling other people from the black community, do not get engaged in this. Do not listen, because the Democrats used us and now they forgot about us, and now look at what these people are doing, fighting for illegal migrants to come in, to stay, use up our resources, and at the same time harbor criminals. And look at what they're doing to our cities and our communities. And once again, Trump was right. Okay? You're letting all these people in. They're taking the jobs. They're using up the resources just so they can get a bug up their ass, start protesting, okay, wave their flag while saying that America's crap and it's racist and it's fascist. Then why are you here? It's an honest damn question. Then why are you here? If that's how you feel about America, then leave us nationalists, fascists, racists, whatever people alone, and leave our country. Especially if you're not from here, why are you out there protesting? Because the Democrats and the liberals have given them that power to do so. Thinking that they could come here and say, you know what, I have rights. No, you damn don't. Rights are being taken away from homegrown Americans every day if they commit crimes. As a matter of fact, there are people that are walking freely from doing crime, from doing prison time. 30 years ago, they still can't vote because one of their rights were taken away. That was the right to vote. And you think you're going to come here and say that all this is owed to you? Let's get to the next video. Here we go. Let's play this one here. This is put up by Fox. This is supposed to be on live. We'll see.
100, but it changes because they're moving back and forth between the two crowds. It's very organic. There's no leadership moving these people. So we'll have to see what happens. So from Los Angeles Street in downtown Los Angeles, back to you, Christine.
We see the officers in the darker uniform, a little movement there on the platform there where you see the National Guard.
See, look at all these flags. Mexican flag. I don't know. That's I don't know which flag is that. But it's, you know,
what agency is that?
I mean, give me a break.
Federal. That's a federal agency.
There goes one American flag next to a Mexican.
Building
Finally,
is being guarded by the federal agency. They may be some sheriffs somewhere in there that sometimes, but the majority of the people in front of that you see that line, and that is by design. They are making a point that we, the feds, are going to protect this building. They know that they're on cameras and that they know that this is what they have to do. When I was out walking the perimeter earlier, I was told that LAPD, the local law enforcement, will take care of the streets. But the entrance to the buildings that are federal buildings is going to be in charge of the National Guard and any kind of federal authority at this point.
And that's the way. And you see, that's the way it is. The police department is trying to get in between, okay, and say, listen, we're here to you know, to have civility, to make sure that they're doing their job, what they got to do, and you people, you want to protest, it's fine, keep it civil. But again, like I said, you heard the police chief. He said it's disgusting. Since day one has been chaos. Okay, but you have this man. Okay, we'll go back to finish off what he's saying.
Ever since he announced he was taking over the National Guard. An illegal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act, and we're going to test that theory with a lawsuit tomorrow.
And I hope you lose.
Well, under his executive order, it specifically notes, and under what the DOD did, is they had to coordinate with the governor of the state. They never coordinate with the governor of the state. I've worked with the National Guard. We've deployed the National Guard. We did 3,000+ folks have been doing logistics work and fire recovery work, and they're fighting the fires, the rattlesnake teams. We did the same back in George Floyd. We have no problem working collaboratively in a mutual aid system with local law.
I love the way he says we did that back in George Floyd, talking about the summer of love. Does anybody remember anything peaceful about that? What were the estimates when, by the time it was all said and done, 25, 26 people were killed? Police departments burned down? Businesses? I mean, it just went on and on and on. Okay? And he's going to come and try to say that, oh, you try to make it seem like everybody in the blue states that had riots going on, that they took charge, everything was fine. Does anybody remember Kenosha and all that being burned down? I mean, let's be honest here, people. Okay, and another thing that I found out today, and I didn't do too much research on it, but it sounds true, but it's true. Every state does have National Guard, okay? And every governor is in charge of that. But the president is in charge of all of it. And when he says, move out the damn way, I'm going to give him a call. You got nothing to say because you didn't handle your business. You took too long to call them in. I'm doing it. Supposedly, that's the law. I didn't look into it, but if that's the case, what he is saying, once again, just like a filthy split-tongued Democrat, is a lie. And this is what the Democrats do. They keep conflating the truth with lies, okay, if I'm saying it right, and just make it seem like, you know what, yeah, but he can call the National Guard, but he was supposed to coordinate with us. But if the law states you're not doing your job because you didn't call them in, then he has every right to supersede your authority. Yeah, but he still has to call us because, you know, we know what's best. So all they do is that they spin everything around, they regurgitate it, they throw it out to the mainstream media, and shame on all you mainstream media that keeps editing all your footage to make it seem like it's law enforcement that's going after the people. You keep editing how all this is starting, how all these people are out there throwing rocks off of freeways and stuff like that. I mean, how do you sit back and condone that, knowing that there are speeding cars, these police cars coming, and you have these people throwing bricks and rocks and stuff off the overpasses onto the police vehicles? You have no idea how somebody can get killed. I mean, and now they're upset that Trump is like, you know what? Now we're going to call in the Marines. And let me tell you something. If anybody knows my channel, I support the military 100%. But I tell you what, all you people out there waving American flags on American soil, talking about this is Mexico, while you're causing havoc, in my eyes, I'm not saying it is, but in my eyes, that's an act of war. You're trying to plant your damn flag. And if the Marines go out there, okay, what do you think? You're going to get in their faces the way you do with the cops? Spitting in their faces? Like seriously getting close up to them? Trying to videotape them? Or throw mace in their faces? These boys are coming in heavy. And there's one thing military personnel knows. You do not let your enemy get close. Now trust me, I don't want to see any kind of bloodshed, nothing like that. Because, I mean, this is uncalled for. Enough bloodshed has been just, I mean, poured out. Just on the fact alone of a lot of these illegal immigrants that have come here that are the criminals that have raped and murdered and killed and spread drugs and human traffic, all this stuff. That blood is enough. But it just seems like you people don't give a damn. Okay? The federal courts already said they had to bring in that dude Albrego, what, the Maryland father back. And he's back. But since mainstream media won't show you the video clip, okay, of the police officer that remembered his face and said, wait a minute, we pulled this guy over a few years back, and when they pulled him over, he was smuggling illegal migrants, I believe from Maryland, and they said they were going to California, or it was vice versa. They stopped him and said he was from Maryland, they were coming from California, going to wherever, and he had like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 people in the vehicle. So now that they brought him back, those are the charges they got him on now. Okay? For smuggling illegal migrants. And even with that, the Democrats are freaking tripling down. Trying to make it seem like it's not right to arrest that man. People, let me tell you something, man. I know what I voted for. Okay? I didn't vote for chaos. I didn't vote for innocent people to go to prison or anything like that. I didn't vote for innocent people to be victims anymore. I voted to have law and order and some sense of decency back in this country. So that even the illegals that come here legally and become citizens, that they can enjoy, okay, the fruits of this nation. So that they can have also a piece, if they do it the right way, of the American dream. All you leftists out there, all you people that are being paid to come and do these riots, you're the problem. You people are the problem. All you feminists out there in all these riots that are talking about, oh, we're fighting for the black and brown, indigenous and marginalized people and this and that. If that's the case, okay, let's put it this way. That girl, Nungare, that was raped and murdered, 12 years old. Where's her protest? Laken Riley, a woman, A female. Where's her protest? The video that I put out a couple of days ago of the mother that was killed by those 6 illegal migrant teens, which, by the way, I try to promote that video so I can push it out, and I was told that I couldn't promote it. And check this out, people. This is how things work. I was told that I could not promote it because it was clickbait. Because apparently I cannot promote any of my videos that put people in fear, basically, because it talks about murder and death and all that, and, you know, in other words, trying to warn people. I cannot put out any videos that spread out warnings. That's not a Republican talking point. That's not a conservative talking point. If anything, we're trying to put information out there. I'm trying to put truth out there to let people know that, you know what you're doing is wrong. You want to stand there and protest, fine. But why is it, if not every single time, 9 out of 10 times, why is it you people on the left, when you say that you want to go out there and protest, it always has to end up with all this carnage? And yet you don't turn around and tell these people to stop. And just so everybody knows, and I pray this just ends today, okay? But the way Gavin Newsom and Bass are talking about, you know, pushing back on ICE, so many people out of their own mouth have let the cat out the bag, because they said there's over 1 million undocumented illegal migrants and many criminals among them in California, in LA supposedly, just in LA. So they basically let the cat out the bag. And Tom Homan and I said they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop going over there. But the one thing I got to say about all this, especially in New York, because now they're talking about riots or protests in New York and Boston. One group that has been very quiet, that if I had to guess, and I hope they don't get involved, but we all know Antifa. Nobody's heard of Antifa in this whole mix just yet. And I hope not, in all honesty. Not that I'm afraid of them. It's just that if anybody knows how to exacerbate a situation, they know how to do it. And then how's that going to look? But in all honesty, with all the video that's out there of what I've been seeing the past 3 days, I think they are in the crowd. I just think they're pretending to be Mexican. Because the same MO is there. People dressed in black, with flags wrapped around the Mexican flags, or whatever the case is, just running by stores with their hammers and busting in windows. And then running and doing it again. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, is that Antifa in the crowd? Or are those people that like basically do the same thing as Antifa? I don't know. I mean, it's just... For this man, right? This man's a snake. I've always said it. This man needs to be impeached, kicked out. Maxine Waters, all of them. You people have let California down. You've let this country down. Okay? All the innocent people that have been caught in between this, all that blood is on your hands. On your hands. But I gotta cut this short. There's just so much coming out. So, like I said, after you watch this video, if you can stomach it, there's a lot more out there. Stay engaged. Stay aware, especially, everyone in California that's not for this. There's a lot of people speaking against it, especially on the left, in the black community, that are like, we're not for this. We're not. But hey, that's fine. Okay? That's fine, because all this is going to be, and the Democrats know it. And what the thing about it is that this goes to show you they don't care about you, the voter. Because Republicans are already saying it. This is perfect for the midterms. Sadly, I myself had to admit, okay, but it's just to show more of you people on the left. This is you causing this. Not Donald Trump. Nobody on the right. This is all you people. You care about your neighborhoods, your communities, your families. This all started because ICE went to a Home Depot in LA to pick some people up. And they did. And some of them were wanted. This is where it all started. Okay? Gavin Newsom's over here saying, well, the president should coordinate with me. Why would you want the president to coordinate with you about the National Guard when you said it yourself and all you Democrats in California that you will not engage and help ICE get rid of the criminals? This is all on you, people. It's all on you. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for this country, keep praying for the women and the children, pray for your families, pray for your enemies, pray for Donald Trump, and don't forget to pray for all the missing children that they brought across the border. Peace.